Today, ladies and gentlemen, I have a 1/4 scale Wonder Woman 2017 inspired copper statue. Very special piece. In 1:30. Better angle for you guys. So again, I'm under the impression that this is a custom piece, but I'm a bit surprised that the box says DC Comics on it. So maybe it's a little more official than I originally thought. So being that this is a custom piece, I wasn't sure if there would be an art box. I wouldn't think so, but this, in addition to the labeling, it does appear to be some sort of art box, so that's great. I mean, for you guys. And then of course I'll keep it. I didn't want to do the upside down thing, but I guess I'll just let gravity do the work. This is incredible. I can't believe this art box, and I'm sorry, it's Justice League, not Wonder Woman 18. I can't believe this art box. It looks like something you could walk into a store and find. So I'll try to get some information about it, like I said, and get back to you guys on that. If you do have any questions. I want to say it weighs, the statue is only supposed to weigh about 10 pounds, but I want to say this thing weighs about 25 to 30 pounds total, the whole thing. What a beautiful art box. So I love it, guys. Do you love it too? I guess I can't throw it away now. It's interesting when you have your mind made up about something and then it changes. Another comment was of the likeness to Gal for the price you're paying, but I already have a statue with a very nice resemblance to Gal, so I'm fine. Not every piece I have needs to resemble Gal. I am just shocked about this art box. I did not expect this at all. Glad that you guys have something to look at again. I know I've said that already, but it appears to open like this. What a nice box. Wow. Wow. This is like the Prime 1 cloth. There's some kind of silk cloth in here. Wow, this thing is huge, guys. I did not expect to get this. This was totally unexpected. So what I'm afraid of now is having to cancel the 1/3 Prime 1 statue that I was planning to get, because that was gonna go right over here next to the half scale. Right on top of that column. That's where the 1/3 Prime 1 was gonna go. And this thing is, it's a solid 4th scale. So just take a look at this. There's the base, guys. So one thing I want to say, there's a couple of things that stand out. One is the facial resemblance, or the lack of a facial resemblance to Gal. And the other thing was the stance that she's in. Her legs are kind of close together, right? But you could argue that she hasn't taken a full step yet. It's kind of midway through. This is really thick. It's a drawstring bag. It's felt. It's not a silk, but I'm just, surprised at this. That they took the steps to do something like that to protect it. The cloth is nice. It feels like there's plastic as well underneath this cloth. It's gorgeous. So the paint, that's another thing we look at is the paint quality. It has a weathered look. I could tell that already. So there's places on her chest plate, on her skirt, that are gonna have a weathered look, a worn look. And as she was packaged very well. So there's no paint rubbing off from friction or rubbing against the packaging. Look at how they did the sword. The paint is very basic looking, to be honest. What I do like the most is the gold. So there's a lot of weathered touches to the paint. Yeah, you can see some of that. So this is what I meant about the stride. Her feet aren't really far apart. Kind of close, like she's in the middle of taking a step. The base is pretty big. I know it doesn't look big. Yeah, it's about 10 inches. See. So I want to say a 10 by 10 or 10 by 9. Yeah, she's about a 22. That's with the base, right? With the base is about a 22. So we can come on top of the base and it's about a 20.5. Definitely an interesting piece. I would say she's hollow, it's not solid. shield is really nice. The detail on the shield. I'm not in love with the paint, but I honestly believe that it's supposed to be that way, that weathered look. And weathered, faded. Definitely a unique piece. Perhaps not for everyone. So it's completely copper. Everything is. You know, there's no mixed media. Actually, this face sculpt looks a little narrow, little more narrow than the picture. The photograph I looked at, or that I saw, had a more oval shape to her face. This one has more of the facial structure that Gal has. But yeah, I mean, I love it, guys. You know, is the paint spot on? Is it perfect? I mean, no. But as you can see, this chest plate here, right in this area, you know, I'm sure that's intentional. So what I mean by it's intentionally not perfect, not perfect because we were lazy or rushing. The sword and the shield is amazing. The sword is amazing. I mean, it's perfectly. It has that that angled cut there. It's like a straight piece. The sword does look great. Reminds me of Prime 1's detail. I think the details of the sword and the shield are great. And the face sculpt, I actually like it more than I thought I would. I knew beforehand that it was not an excellent resemblance to Gal, but I like it more than I thought I would, to be honest. I love the details of this sword. I love the detail of the shield. It's interesting how this that leather strap that runs around her wrist into her palm, it's kind of an orange color. It's not the same red as her chest plate. I love the details of this shield. So we don't have our little eagle, I believe it is, in the middle there. But the lettering is great. Love the sword and shield, love the face sculpt, I love the gold. If I had one complaint, it would be the paint a little bit. But again, how old is Diana? How many battles has she been through, you know? I want to say that this, because it's just a thin piece of copper, but at first it kind of felt like a different material, and I think that's just because the paint is pretty heavy on that leather, or what is supposed to be a leather strap. The paint is pretty heavy on that. I mean, for a head sculpt done in copper, in metal, I would say that this hair is pretty nice. I love the face sculpt actually. Wow. It's not too bad, guys. So either you want something to resemble Gal, or you want something to resemble Linda, or it doesn't matter to you. And for me, I love Gal, and my collection is focused around Gal. I realize that. But I'm fine with my Kotobukias, the Yamatos that don't resemble Gal or Linda. That's fine with me too. So for now, she will go on this column to the right. Well, I do love the description here, these numbers. I'm sure they mean it's an identifying factor here, which is good. You can see some paint there. Yeah, right away I noticed the boots. I would think a larger piece is easier to paint too. Yeah, you're not doing microscopic work here. Yeah, you see that? I have no problems with imperfections, even though I'm kind of a perfectionist, because this is a custom piece. Like somebody like me, if I had the skill and the material, I might try to do something like this. And it's just coming out of a love for Wonder Woman, not to have the best figure or statue in the world, but this is just an expression of your appreciation of the character. Like to me, that this is just an artist's interpretation of the character, and that's what Luis Rayo, I mean the Yamato, and that's what the Kotobukiyas are, and that's what all the figures are. It was done by artists, and this is their interpretation of it, and I appreciate it. You know, so there is no perfect, really. What is perfect? She's beautiful. I absolutely love it. Hope you guys loved it too. It's pretty heavy. I thought about getting a scale kind of as a visual aid, you know, to help you guys see. But as you can see, the sword is, everything is, it's one solid piece, so I was concerned about the shipping. It's a pretty thick, surprisingly thick felt drawstring pouch. So again, speaking of my one issue that I pointed out, the paint, you know, I don't think someone would go through, you know, having this pouch made and this nice art box and then just whip the paint job and stuff it in a box and send it. I think this was purposely done, and it could be a characteristic that's common with metal statues that are painted. So let me I'll get it up on a column next to the half scale. And during Christmas I pick up some birchwood pine candles. That's what those are up there. And even that matches the gold of those candles. I just love that scent. Birchwood pine. So what is it? I believe Nest. I got it from Bloomingdale's. They also have it at Neiman Marcus. Very cool piece, I really have to say. So I might consider putting her on the top of this hutch over here. I do have some space here. But again, I am very impressed with this. It's an awesome piece. So sharp, and it doesn't follow that this kind of time and effort will be spent in this, but yet they would purposely mess up the paint job. You know, I think that's very intentional, the way it looks, and that adds to the uniqueness of it. You know, battle damage is perfectly fine with me. Alright guys, thank you so much for allowing me to share this with you. This came a lot sooner than I expected, but I already had the column to put it on. Yeah, the turntable is a little big, so I might ditch the turntable. This was actually for the 1/3 Prime 1 statue, which is a lot bigger. The base is like 20/20. It's basically a square. With or without the turntable, guys? What are we thinking? I like it like that.